Welcome to Study Vlogs. Today we'll be studying social, class 6, geography, India, our country. So, going into this chapter, let me first introduce about India. India occupies a major part of land in South Asia. It is located in northern hemisphere. India is the largest subcontinent of Asia. India unofficially has 447 languages and over 700 types of tribes. There are 22 official languages. India is known for its diversity in religions. India has mainly 5 religions, namely Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, Muslim and Sikhism, which contribute the most of the population of India. India is the second most populous country with 135.26 crore as of 2018. India is the seventh largest country in India. India's largest city is Mumbai and largest state is Rajasthan. India's smallest city is Gangotri and smallest state is Goa. India's largest district is Kutch and smallest district is Mahe, Puducherry. Largest union territory is Andaman and Nicobar Islands and smallest union territory is Lakshadweep Islands. Moving on to geographical location of India. It is in the northern hemisphere of South Asia. It has an area of about 3.28 million square kilometers. Coastal line extends about 7,516.6 kilometers. North-south extent is 3,200 kilometers when east-west extent is 2,900 kilometers. Tropic of Cancer, which almost divides the country into half, is 23 degrees 30 minute north. The latitudes are 8 degree 4 minute north and 37 degree 6 minute north. Longitudes are 67 degree 7 minute east and 97 degree 25 minute east. India has 28 states, 7 union territories. Delhi is the national capital. Now moving on to the Indian Standard Meridian. As we all know, India's Standard Meridian is standard time is taken from the standard meridian of India, that is 82 degree 30 minute east, which passes through Mirzapur, Uttar Pradesh. The longitudinal gap between Arunachal Pradesh and Gujarat, that is the two extreme points of India, is about 30 degrees. Due to this longitudinal gap, there is a time gap of 2 hours. Like, you'll be wondering why is it 2 hours? Because from one longitude to another longitude, it takes to move about 4 minutes. Since there is 30 degrees of gap, it takes 2 hours. Since Arunachal Pradesh is in the east, the sun rises earlier here as compared to Gujarat. The Indian Standard Meridian is taken from the Standard Meridian of India and hence the watches shows same time in both of the states. Moving on to India's and neighboring countries. In the northwest we have Afghanistan and Pakistan. In the north we have China, Tibet, Nepal and Bhutan. In the east we have Myanmar and Bangladesh. In south we have island countries which share our land boundaries with Sri Lanka and Maldives. Go to the next topic. We have physical features of India. In this topic I will be moving a bit more further so that it will be helpful for your future classes also. There are 6 physical features of India, namely Himalayan mountains, northern plains, peninsular plateau, Indian desert, coastal plains and the islands. So for the first topic, Himalayan mountains. The Himalayas, geologically the young and the structurally fold mountains, stretch over the northern borders of India. These mountains ranges run in a west-east direction from the Indus to the Brahmaputra. The Himalayas represent the most loftiest and one of the most rugged mountain barriers of the world. They form an arc which covers a distance of about 2,400 kilometers. Their width varies from 400 kilometers in Kashmir to 150 kilometers in Arunachal Pradesh. The altitudinal variations are great in the eastern half than those in the western half. From this, we can understand that the domination of Himalayas is more in the east than in the west. Next, Himalayas consist of 3 parallel ranges in longitudinal extent. A number of valleys lie between these ranges. The northernmost range is known as the Great or Inner or the Himadri. This consists of the most continuous ranges consisting of the loftiest peaks with an average height of 6,000 meters. It contains all the prominent Himalayan peaks, which even includes Mount Everest. The folds of Great Himalayas are asymmetrical in nature. The core of this part of Himalayas is composed of granite. It is perennially snowbound and a number of glaciers descend from this range. The range lying to the south of the Himadri forms the most rugged mountain system and is also known as Himalayas or Lesser Himalaya. The ranges are mainly composed of highly compressed and altered rocks. The altitude varies between 3,700 and 4,500 meters and the average width of an 50 kilometers, while the Pir Panjal range forms the largest and the longest of the important range. The Dauladar and the Mahabharat ranges are also prominent ones. This range consists of famous valley of Kashmir, the Kangra, the Kulu valley in the Himachal Pradesh. This region is known for its hill station. So you would be wondering, why did I call Himalayas the most youngest of the world peaks? It is because if you observe, as per geology, if the mountain peaks are sharp, they are known as young, and if they are blunt, they are known as the oldest ones. The outermost range of Himalayas is called the Shivaliks. They extend over a width of 10 to 50 kilometers and have an altitude varying between 900 to 1100 meters. These ranges are composed of unconsolidated sediments brought down by rivers from the main Himalayan ranges located farther north. These valleys are covered with thick gravel and alluvium. The longitudinal valley lying between Lesser Himalayas and the Shivaliks are known as the Duns. These Dun, Kotli Dun, Patli Dun are some of the well-known duns. Besides the longitudinal divisions, the Himalayas have been divided on the basis of regions from west to east. These divisions have been demarcated by river valleys. For example, the part of the Himalayas lying between Indus and Satluj has been known as Punjab Himalayas, but it also known as regionally as Kashmir and Himachal Himalaya from west to east. The part of Himalayas lying between Satluj and Kali is known as Kumaon Himalayas. The Kali and Teesta rivers demarcate the Nepal Himalayas. The part lying between Teesta and Dihang rivers is known as Assam rivers. These are the regional names also in these broad categories. Brahmaputra River marks the easternmost boundary of the Himalayas. Beyond the Dihang Gorge, the Himalayas bend sharply to the south and spread along the eastern boundary of India. They are known as Purvachal or the eastern hills and mountains. These hills running through the northeastern states are mostly composed of strong sandstones, which are sedimentary rocks covered with dense forest. They mostly run as parallel ranges and valleys. The Purvachal comprises of Patka Hills, the Naga Hills, Manipur Hills and the Mizo Hills. Moving on to the northern plains. The northern plain has been formed by the interplay of three major river systems, namely the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra with their tributaries. This plain is formed of alluvial soil. The deposition of alluvial in a vast basin lying at the foothills of Himalaya over millions of years form this fertile land. It spreads over an area of 7 lakh kilometers. This also gives the reason for being the most populated plain in India. Moving on, the Peninsular Plateau. The Peninsular Plateau is a tableland composed of old crystalline and igneous and metamorphic rocks. It was formed due to the breaking and drifting of Gondwana land and thus making it a part of oldest land mass. And about Gondwana land you will be learning in your further classes. Plateau has broad and shallow valley and rounded hills. This plateau consists of two broad divisions, namely the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. The part of the Peninsular Plateau lying to the north of Narmada River, covering a major part, is known as Malwa Plateau, is known as the Central Highlands. The Vindhya Range is bounded by the Satpura Range on the south and the Aravallis on the northwest. The further westward extension gradually merges with the sandy and rocky desert of Rajasthan. Deccan Plateau is a triangular landmass that lies to the south of the river Narmada. The Satpura Range flanks its broad base in the north, while Mahadev, the Kaimur Hills, and the Maikal Range from its eastern extensions. There are three prominent hill ranges from west to east in Deccan Plateau. They are the Garo, the Khasi, and the Jaintia Hills. The Peninsular Plateau consists of Western and Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats lie parallel to each other. They are continuous and we cross through passes only. The Western Ghats are higher than Eastern Ghats. Their average elevation is about 9,000 to 1,600 meters, as against 1,600 meters of Eastern Ghats. The Eastern Ghats stretch from Mahanadi Valley to the Nigris of the south. The Eastern Ghats are discontinuous and irregular, dissected by the rivers, cause the organic rain by facing the rain bearing most of the winds to the rise of western slopes of the Ghats. The Western Ghats are known by local names. The height of the Western Ghats progressively marks from the north to south. The highest peak include Anaimudi, 2,695 meters, and Dodabeta, 2,637 meters. Mahendragiri, 1,501 meters, are the highest peaks in the Eastern Ghats. One of the distinct feature of Deccan Plateau is the black soil area known as the Deccan Trap. This is volcanic origin, hence the rocks are igneous. Actually, these rocks have denuded over time and are responsible for the formation of black soil. Is the Indian Desert. The Indian Desert lies towards the western margins of Aravalli Hills. It is an undulating sandy plain covered with sand dunes. This region receives very low rainfall below 150 meters per year. It has an arid climate with low vegetation. Streams appear after the rainy season. Soon they after disappear into the sand as they do not have enough water to reach the sea. Luni is the only largest river in this region. The coastal plains. The peninsular plateau is flanked by stretch of narrow coastal strips running along the Arabian Sea on the west and the Bay of Bengal on the east. The western coast sandwiched between Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea is a narrow plain. It consists of three sections. The northern part of the coast is called Konkan, Mumbai to Goa. The central stretch is called Kannad Plain, while the southern stretch is called Malabar Coast. The plain along the Bay of Bengal are wide and level. In northern part, it is known as Northern Sarkar, while the southern part is known as Coromandel Coast. Moving on to our last topic, the islands. You have already seen that India has a vast mainland. This, the country has two groups of islands. They are namely Lakshadweep Islands and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Lakshadweep Islands lies close to the Malabar coast of Kerala. This group of islands is composed of small coral islands. Earlier they were known as Lakadweep, Mikonai and Amendev. In 1973 they were named as Lakshadweep. It covers small area of 32 square kilometers. Island is the administrative headquarters of Lakshadweep. This island group has great diversity of flora and fauna. The island chains located in Bay of Bengal extending from north to south. These are Andaman and Nicobar Islands. They are bigger in size and are numerous and scattered. The entire group of islands is divided into two broad categories. The Andaman in the north and the Nicobar in the south. It is believed that these islands are an elevated portion of submarine mountains. These island groups are of great strategic importance to the country. There is great diversity of flora and fauna in this group of islands too. These islands lie closer to equator and experience equatorial climate and has thick forest cover. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.